Release the Kraken!
Good evening, and we are back with our elf. So in this one, I'm going to go ahead and just do some finishing touches like the belt and mirroring the eye over and doing the collar. You can see he has like this collar sort of hoodie kind of deal. So let's go ahead and jump in to do that. So for the belt, I'm going to go into a front view, take my elf. Let's do some adjustments to the transparency. So right click, go down to material attributes. And then I'll bring that up, transparency. And you can see we have right around here these two loops that make this belt, which is really convenient for us. I'm going to go ahead and go to face mode. And you could just drag a box like so and grab that. Or you can, select one, hold shift right and double click. And then select it, hold shift, double click. Either way, but we're going to grab these two loops right here. Okay. Check my side view just to make sure. Close enough. I'm going to go ahead and hit the extrude button wherever it is. Where are you at? There you are. And for this, I'm going to pull the blue arrow. Now I'm back in perspective. And with my extrude still active, I'm going to hit this little blue box that's on there. I'm going to come down to this green box, click it, and I'm going to pull that in. And that's just going to taper the belt. Go back into material attributes. Let's bring the transparency back down. Coal beans. I'll clean this up just a little bit. Go to vertex mode. I'll grab this vertex. You can see this one's kind of up and jagged. I'll grab this one on this side as well. Hit the move tool, and I will just move those down. Now the belt does have the belt loops. You have a few choices. You can put them in using texture mapping, or you can manually pull those in. I'm going to use texture mapping to achieve that, so I'm going to leave that alone. Let's go back to the body here. And for the collar, we can see we have sort of like this V-neck thing going on. And I could carve that in with geometry, but I really don't want to. I'm just going to paint this on using texture mapping. But for this thing in the back, I'm going to go ahead and go to my side view. This is pretty simple. So I'm going to go just bust that out real quick. Let's drop in, for this, let's do a sphere. Get a different shape, I'll move that up to there. Let's go to our channel box, grab our polysphere. I'll make the radius. Go ahead and select the radius, middle mouse click out here. We'll just drag that till it's about the right size. And we'll do subdivisions. Let's do those 8 and 8. Good enough. Position it. I'm going to go ahead and just rotate it a little bit. And then I'll stretch it out just enough to kind of make sort of the hood. Stretch it. Then I'll go ahead and shape it. So vertex mode, let's get our material attributes. And this one I'm just going to do in sections, so I'm going to just go ahead and grab these. And I'll hold shift, select that one, double click on the next. Kind of move those into position. Select that one, hold shift, double click. Move into position. Size it up as I need to. I'm just rotating them to fit the form. Select one, hold shift, double click. And again, I'm rotating to adjust it to fit the form. Whoops, too many. Now this does not have to be perfect. It just needs to kind of look like a hoodie. And we're going to use a trick inside of Unreal to kind of get this to be floppy. So to make it look more like a hoodie, let's go back to our material attributes. We're not going to sew this to the body. We're actually going to use a joint to connect it. So this is mostly going to be separate. But what I will do is I'm going to select both here. And I'm just going to select this vertex. If I hold down the V key and drag that vertex to the body, see how it snaps to the middle one there? Same thing with this one. Hold down V, snap it to the body. That one, hold down V, snap it to the body. That's probably good enough. And I'll do the same thing on the underside. Again, this isn't dire. It's just going to help it look better. Hold down V, snap to the body. Sorry for that camera angle. I'm just looking to see the next connective point. It's actually easier if you can select both of these. You can see that point to that point. And then this one, hold down V. Now all I'm doing is I'm dragging my mouse to the nearest vertex. I can kind of see the vertex there. So nearest vertex. See, if I'm over here, it snaps that way. I want this one. I don't want to go too far because it'll stretch. And then this one to there. Looks about even. Now this does end at a point here, which I don't really need. And actually, I'll just leave that. We're going to triangulate this anyway, so that's not going to be too big of a deal. But I will take these ones along the center, and you'll kind of see what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull these in because a hoodie dips in. So I'm sort of making that inner pocket. Now, however precisely you want to do this is up to you. I'm just trying to get the general look. I don't have nearly enough geometry to make it super convincing, just enough so that if you were to kind of look at this, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's like the hood. Of course, that's not a hoodie that would fit this dude's giant head, but you know, it's close enough. Pull these ones in. Now, if you really wanted to, you could create an extrusion and kind of pull this in more, but I'm not going to do that. I kind of leave that as it is. I think I'm going to have to inflate it, though. Let's make this bigger to make it look like it fits this guy's head. So there's that, and that is good enough. Oh, let's do the eye. So for the eye, what we ended up doing in the previous video was clearing off the history, so this thing is zeroed out. So the issue is when we try to mirror this over, it doesn't know where to mirror it from. So that creates a problem for us. Instead, what I'm going to do, take this eye, and I'm just going to create a locator, go up to rigging, And then this very first thing here, it looks like a star. That's a locator. I'm going to add that to the scene. And all my locator is going to do is provide a position for me. Let's go ahead and center up on the eye. I'll press 4 to go in the wireframe. I'm going to hold down the V key. I'm going to snap this locator to the center of the eye. I'm going to zoom in here. Just make sure I'm not on anything else. It should be on that center vertex. Okay. So that locator is giving me a position in world space. The X 4 point, whatever that is. I'm going to create a duplicate of the eye. So select the eye, Control D. I'll move it over here somewhere. I'm going to take my locator. Now I can't just type in the value. So let me go ahead and grab that eye. I can't just type in the value from this locator because this is relative to 0, which is where this red line is. Whereas our eye thinks 0 is where the locator is. So if I grab the eyeball, 0 is here. So from the eye's perspective, 0 is here. So if I were to type in that value, so if I were to copy this and paste it into this eye, I'd get this position, right? And if I were to take the negative of that, I would get 0, right? Because from the eye's perspective, it is that far away from 0, right? Now I could double that to get, whatever the -8, whatever that is, and that would work too. I could figure out the math for that. Or I can just take my locator, I'll duplicate it, Control D, and then I will give it a minus value. Hey, now it's in the spot that I need it. I'll take the new eye. I'm going to hold down the V key. I'm not going to grab the center circle this time. I'm going to grab the arrow. If I grab the circle, it's going to snap this right to that locator. I don't want it to be on it. I just want it to be near it. So I'm going to hold down the V key. I'm going to drag the arrow this time to the center of that locator. And you should have the eyes lined up on there. It is a bit of a long way, but hey, it worked, right? I no longer need the locators, so I can go ahead and delete those off. So now I have my dude, as ugly as he is, ready and raring to go. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. In the next tutorial, we're going to look at how to do the UVs. So stick around, and I will see you then.